In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a sequence of messages that get sent out to your users when triggered by an action that they take within the system. So I'm going to show you not only how to set up the sequence of emails, but also how to create those triggers within the system. So let's navigate over to our Messenger by clicking on Messenger over here on the left-hand side. And then I'm going to go over here to sequences. And then I'm going to create my first sequence message, and I'm just going to call this my sequence. And then I'm going to have my from name, which is, I can't spell my own name, Heather, and then we hit save. So now we have something that is very similar to our visual funnel builder. So if I come here and I make this full screen by clicking on the full screen button over here on the top left-hand side, I just have a visual layout of my sequence of emails. And now I can start adding my first emails to this sequence. So I'm going to click on the plus icon like I would in the funnel builder, and then I'm going to create a message. And I'm just going to go ahead and call this message 1. It's an email, and split tests are disabled. So when someone is enrolled in the sequence of emails, they're immediately going to receive this first message. And then I want them to receive another message a couple days later. So I'm going to add another message, and I'm going to call this one message 2. And again, it's an email, no split test, and I'm going to hit save. All right, so now I've got these two messages, and you'll see that a condition has automatically been added to my sequence here, because there needs to be a wait period between these two messages. Otherwise, these two messages will be sent out simultaneously, and they won't be sent out with a delay. And that's what we want with a sequence of messages. We want to be able to schedule when our users are receiving these emails. So you'll see that we have this wait until condition, and it says wait until the contact receives the previous message. Now, this is not a great condition to have because it's just waiting until that receives the previous message. And so in this case, it is going to trigger that second email to be sent the moment they receive this email. So they're going to get one message right after the next. So we don't actually want that. We want to edit this condition. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to edit it. And I can say, wait until the contact receives the previous message. I can change it to say, wait until the contact opens the previous message, and wait until the contact clicks the previous message. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to wait until they open the previous message and hit save. But I also want to add a bit of a delay. So I want to click on the plus icon right above my message 2. And then I'm going to come here to my to my delays, sorry. And here I'll be able to add a delay of time. So I can say wait 2 days before the second message gets sent out, and I can hit save. So if I come here to my wait until message, I edit that. Maybe they don't click into the email, so I can wait until they receive the message, and then it's going to wait 2 days, and it's going to send the second message. Now, there's a few more things that I can do here, and this all has to do with these delays and conditions. So if I come here and I add another message, and I'm going to say, yay, welcome, because again, I'm going to show you in just a second why I'm calling this yay, welcome. I'm going to hit save. Then we have our wait until condition. And this time I do want to change it to the contact clicking in my email. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to say edit. I'm going to change this condition to say wait until they click the previous message. But I actually don't want it to be a wait until because I want it to be a yes or no condition. I want to ensure that they are receiving a certain message when they say yes and they click the offer. And I want to make sure that they're receiving a different message when they don't click the offer. So I'm going to click here and say yes or no. And it's going to have the same sort of conditions, but it's going to say the contact opens the previous message or the contact clicks the previous message. So I'm saying that this user has now clicked the link within my email and they're like, yes, I'm actually very interested in this. So we know that we can send them this yay, welcome email. And I'm going to hit save. You'll see that when I create that condition that I am now given a no branch. So when they don't do the thing in this condition, then they need to receive a separate email. So if I come here and I add a new message, and I'm going to say this, it's called "Aw shucks," and hit save. That is then going to send the no version of my email when they don't click the previous message. Now, an important thing to note here is that we do need to add another delay, because they'll receive this message, well, not this message, they'll receive message 2. And if they don't immediately click this message, if they don't immediately click the link in message 2, then they're immediately going to be sent the no message. And you'll see here we have this little warning that says add a delay to the no path so that the contact has some time to click the message. Without the delay, the no path will always be triggered, while the yes path will never be triggered. So anytime you have this condition, this yes-no condition, you will need to add a delay to the no path to give your users time to actually click the message and receive the yes path email. So I'm going to click here on the plus icon in the no path. I'm going to add a delay, and I'm going to add a delay of 2 days as well. Then I'm going to hit save. So now they have 2 days in order to click the email and receive the yes email. If they don't click the email within 2 days, they will be sent down the no path. Now, it's important to note that once a user has passed a certain point in the email sequence, they are not able to go back. So if they didn't click the link and they waited 2 days and they get sent this shucks email, even if they go back to this email, this message 2, and they click the link, they aren't going to receive this yay yes path email because they have already passed that point in the decision tree. So another thing that I want to show you with the delays within our messages here is that you can go ahead and schedule the delays. So if I edit this and I say that I want to schedule the delay, you'll see that I am then able to add a specific time zone. I can choose which days I would like to include. So maybe I don't want these to go out on the weekends, but I want them to go out on any weekday. I can do that. And I can select the specific time. So I can say that I want them to go out at 10 o'clock. And there we go. And then I can hit save. And so now this email is only going to be sent out at 10 a.m. in the UTC time zone and only on weekdays. So that is an extra thing that you can do here with delays. And then once you've built out your sequence, you can go in and edit your emails and go ahead and give them their subject lines and give them the content that you want to be sent out in these emails. I'm going to go ahead and hit save and then navigate back. And you would do that for each email in your sequence. You would then go and build out your emails. And then once you have done that, you can go and choose your recipients. And you'll see here that you'll select your list. So if you have a specific list of people that you would like to enroll in the sequence, you can go ahead and select all contacts. I have one recipient that qualifies, and that's because I have one recipient in the list. And then you'll see that I have 0 recipients already in this sequence. Now I'm going to get back to this in just a second. I'm going to show you what happens when users are enrolled in sequences through different triggers. But once a recipient is in this sequence, they are going to be shown here. So when a sequence of emails is sent out, they're not all being sent out at the same time. They're being sent out when a user is enrolled in that sequence. So each user is receiving that sequence of emails at potentially different times. So if Bob enrolls on a Tuesday, he's going to receive that first message on a Tuesday. But if Betty enrolls on a Wednesday, then she's going to receive that first message on a Wednesday. And so their timelines for receiving the sequence of emails is going to be slightly different. So that is why we have this recipients already in the sequence option over here. And then once you have done all of that, you're going to go ahead and hit confirm, and you'll be able to confirm the sequence of emails. Now you've already seen what this looks like. I haven't edited all of my messages, so it tells me my sequence is incomplete. So if I come back to, my sequence, and I scroll through, it's because I haven't added content to any of my other emails. So if you have actually built all of that out, you would then be able to confirm the sequence of messages. But I'm not going to do that right now because it's going to take me a little bit longer. What I want to do now is show you how to trigger these sequences. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save on this sequence of emails. And then I'm going to navigate over to my funnels. So one of the ways that you can enroll in a sequence of emails is through something like a funnel. So if I add a funnel, and I'm just going to call this my funnel, and I'm going to use a template, it's just going to be a basic opt-in. Then I'm going to select my lists. I'm just going to select all lists again, no expiry, and I'm going to hit save. So now when a user opts in, they're going to be added to that list and they're going to be sent to the thank you page. And I am aware that any contacts being added to this list are going to be enrolled in that sequence. But if I want to manually enroll users in a sequence, say this list is very different, or the list that I've used for that sequence is very different, I want to then add them to a sequence in an action in this funnel. So to add an action, I'm just going to click the plus icon, come here to my actions, and I'm going to say start a sequence. I would then select that sequence from my dropdown and hit save. So now when a user enrolls or opts in to this funnel, they will be added to that sequence and they'll start receiving that sequence of emails. So that is one of the ways that you can trigger sequences within the system. Another way that we can trigger sequences is through products. So if I navigate over here to my products on the left-hand side and I create a new product, I'm just going to call this my product, give it a price and leave the rest the same, hit save. I'm then going to come to my advanced settings over here on the right-hand side, and I'm going to come down here to actions and enable those actions. And then you'll see here I have the option to start a sequence. And again, I can select that sequence and then hit save. So then anytime someone purchases this product, they will receive that sequence of emails and be enrolled in that sequence. So that is how you can trigger sequences within the system and how you can enroll your users in those sequences of emails. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to split test your messages. I'll see you there.